What is up? We are back and the camper looks a little different than before. So yesterday was the end of day 14, which I'm pretty stoked on. So exactly 2 weeks of working every single day. We're almost done the exterior siding, except for that one little piece up there and the beginning or the front side of that window there. But I'm pretty happy with how everything has turned out. Still need to make a door. The inside is still kind of the same, but we got the roof vent installed. We got the chimney installed and the roof is all screwed in. Those bolts up there are going to be for my roof racks. Got a ski box going up there for my skis and I'm pretty stoked on it. So let me run you guys through how we got from the end of the framing, which was in the last video, to where we are now. So right after finishing the framing, it actually took us 2 days to get set up for the siding. These 2 days honestly felt like forever, but what we did over them was we planned and drilled holes for the camper tie downs and the jack posts. It sounds pretty simple, but we didn't really want to mess these ones up. Once we were all set to start the exterior siding, the first step was to attach the 1/4-inch plywood to the outside of the frame. Right at this time, my brother-in-law Matt started helping us out on the project, and honestly he was a huge help and we would not have finished this project without him. And once we had the plywood pieces set in place, we had Matt cut out the windows and the roof with a Dremel. We laid the plywood down from front to back on the roof, and when we got to the back of the roof, the wood naturally left a 12-inch overhang. I really like this as kind of a little deck / rain and sun cover. So after we strengthened it with some rafters and we added a drip edge to the overhang.
That's solid.
For all the plywood that was going to be covered by metal siding, I used honestly the cheapest plywood I could find, which was usually mahogany. But the undersides and the pieces of wood going lower on the camper weren't going to be covered by the metal, so I used birch plywood, which is a little bit stronger, and we later stained the wood to seal it.
74.5, yeah.
How's that look? That looks pretty good to me. Mom, the paint job looks great.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, good. Paint job looks good.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Oh,
paint's
yeah.
great.
Oh, yeah.
Although it scuffs.
Well, what do you want me to do about that? How about you don't scuff it? Okay.
All right, so we got all the plywood siding on. We're fully sealed off on the inside here, except we are working on the flashings right now, so basically got to cover up all the corners, and I'm just touching up this back spot. So yeah, it's just waterproofing today, but prepping ourselves before the siding. I think we want to hammer this into that. Don't lose your grip on the dream. boys. So just finished up all the flashings, all the nice corners here. And we're moving on to installing the roof vent.
There you go.
So what else?
Yeah. Maybe a little more. Don't go quite as fat. Yeah, that's good. Nice fat. Really carefully. And I'll guide it on the way down too. Yeah. Gently, gently. Okay, just sort of wiggle it a little just to get it seated. Yeah.
After installing the roof vent, we moved on to installing the chimney, which is going to be for my wood stove.
You want me to drill that hole at the front?
It's up to you, but I got a pretty perfect circle here.
That's it, man. It's daylight. Theoretically.
Alright, so we bought this red guard from Home Depot and we're using it to seal up the roof. Whoa. Alright, so we're just reading the instructions here. It says you can apply it with a roller, a trowel, or a sprayer, but not a paintbrush, but we're going to be using a paintbrush anyways. So this red guard stuff is actually supposed to go underneath showers, but we figured it would do the job as it is a waterproofing material. So when we started with the red guard, we planned on just doing all the main seams and screw holes on the roof, but we had so much of it left over that we ended up just doing the entire roof, and we ended up doing every screw hole on all the walls, and yeah. Yo, that's my ladder, isn't it?
The siding.
First window's in, baby. So after a few days of hard work, we were able to get all the waterproofing done, all the pieces of plywood on, the main windows and roof vents installed and caulked, and yeah, we were ready to move on to the metal siding. Partway down the roof here, and we're going to install the chimney vent. 37 and a half.
Okay, middle one. Middle long.
35 and a half.
Middle long.
What? You said that was 39.
I got the 3 on the middle.
Oh. The siding we went with was steel siding, and aluminum probably would have been better because it's a lot lighter, but it is a lot more expensive. The steel was actually pretty nasty to work with. It was always spitting up metal flakes, and it definitely was not easy to work with. And also having a curved roof, well, that didn't do us any favors either. Once we had all the steel siding on the walls and the roof, we were able to finish installing and caulking all the windows and the chimney. We were now pretty much fully done with the exterior siding and the whole outside of the camper, and we could now install the jack posts. But over the last 2 weeks, we did notice an error that we might have made in one of our calculations. The roof vent was too high to get outside of our 8-foot door. So our solution was to jack the camper up and take the dolly out that we made on day 1 and modify it to be shorter. This way we can slide the camper out on the day we're going to jack it up and put it on the truck, and it'll fit out our 8-foot garage door.
Hang up there. We got one little hang up in the corner. She's tight. Very tight.
So yeah, that's pretty much all for now, and that's how we went from the frame of our camper, which we finished in part 1, to the finished exterior siding that you saw at the very beginning of this video. In the next episodes, I will be sharing my full electrical system, my interior, putting the camper on the truck, a full walkthrough of the inside, and more. So stay tuned for some upcoming videos. I think it needs to go over a bit more. Stop for a second.
I think we can get this in.
I know we can get it in, but I don't think it's perfect.
I think we can get this in.
I know we can get it too much on this side. I don't think so. It's supposed to be like the way we measured it is it's supposed to be halfway on this rib. And I think it's fully on your rib, not enough on mine.
Bosch tools, the best tools in the world.